Hi, and welcome to AkamaiTV. My name is Tara Bartley, and I am joined today by Roger Barranco. Welcome to the program, Roger.
Thank you very much.
So Roger, with a globally distributed platform that is securing our customers, there's a real need to monitor and mitigate, and that's where you and your team comes in. Tell us a little bit about the SOCC, what it stands for, first of all, and your responsibilities around the SOCCs.
Sure, thank you. So the SOCC stands for Security Operations Command Center. It's different than a traditional SOC in that we take command of the situation with our partner in accordance with a negotiation we have with them in advance on how they want us to engage for them when protecting them from threats out there.
Okay, and how many SOCs are there?
We have 6 SOCs now globally distributed.
And they run from Fort Lauderdale to?
We have Fort Lauderdale, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Krakow, Poland, Bangalore, India, Tokyo. So yeah, spread out well.
Truly widely distributed, I'd say.
Truly.
And tell me what industries you protect through the SOCs.
Yeah, glad you asked that question. We protect all industries. Granted, there are certain industries that leverage our services quite heavily, but it could be anything. I don't think there's a vertical out there that we don't protect.
That's great to know. And we offer a platform with incredibly advanced technology and security solutions, but those security solutions can't protect our customers without a team of professionals. Tell us a little bit more about your team and what role they play in protecting our customers.
So the team is hugely diversified from a skill set perspective. To do a really good job with security, you can't only have security skills. That's the primary skill, but you have to have routing and switching skills. You have to have operating system skills. You have to have a very diverse security skill set that runs from management all the way down to multiple certifications. So with that broad combination of skill, we pull that together to service the customer.
And I imagine that you must have, coupled with those skill sets, real dedication, because this is 24-hour service that your team's offering, right?
It is. I'm glad you brought that up because that's one of the huge benefits is our ability to stay on focus when there's a big attack campaign that may go on for days. So the customer can focus on their infrastructure. They can continue their day-to-day job because we'll battle for them on those long-term efforts. From a job perspective, we segment the SOC in ways that allow certain groups to focus on alerting and monitoring, other groups focus on detection of attacks, other groups focus on mitigation. The reason we do that is we want the responses to be very focused, right? We don't want people to be distracted in any way from performing their job.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you have said that your focus is on quality through continued improvement. Tell me what that means.
Yeah, that's our Kaizen. I test our team all the time to make sure that they know that. The root of it is actually super important because when you run a very complicated and dynamic environment, there's a tendency for management to write processes and have a very thick book of processes, but the human brain can't consume thousands of little nuanced processes. You can boil that down simply by focusing on quality. If you know as a human being whether you're doing a good job or not, and that's what we focus on. There are no restrictions around providing the highest level of quality to our customers because we know if we provide that very high level of quality, that good things will happen, the customer will be well protected, and the service will be provided at the proper level.
Okay, that's great. I like it. I like that mantra. Roger, there's no denying that Akamai is now a security company. All you have to do is look around here in sunny Las Vegas at Edge World, and everything is all about security. Therefore, we have a lot of security professionals who have come here to learn more. What can you offer based on all your experience? What are your lessons learned?
You know, that's one of the things that's the most difficult for customers because it takes a lot of time to be highly prepared. So my recommendation to most customers is 2 things. You can have a great plan, but you have to find the time to actually test that plan. From my perspective, a plan that isn't also tested isn't really a plan, right? Along with that, you have to really know your infrastructure intimately. So during an attack, we're going to be asking some very tough questions about where do these types of services exist in your infrastructure. you have to either have that discussion with us proactively or have that information in a playbook ready to read back to us. That takes a lot of time. For example, it wasn't that long ago that there was an attack called a SYNAC attack. It's actually pretty easy to defend if you know the customer infrastructure. If you don't and you deploy the mitigation improperly, you could actually DOS the customer. So there's a lot of communications that have to go on. So customers have to take the time to really understand their environment well ahead of a situation where they're under attack, where you need to find that information.
Okay. So we're here at the start of Edge World. There are a lot of different sessions that people can attend. There's a lot of different demonstrations that are going on here. Give us some insight on where you think our security professionals have to be this week at Edge World.
The great thing about Edge this year especially is that it's well broken up by disciplines or interest areas. So if you're more on the development side, there's a lot of API classes and Botman Premier Control type classes that'll be right up their alley. If you're pure security, there's some tremendous threat research oriented sessions going on. There's management leaning sessions, so there's something for everyone so that you don't waste your time going to a session that's not exactly in your skill set or domain.
And people can just get on the app and they can figure out where to go. What if there are people watching this interview after Edge World and they weren't able to attend the sessions here live? What's your recommendation for finding resources that are similar to what people might have found here?
Yeah, you know, they have to contact their IAT, so that's the Integrated Account Team.
Okay.
They're going to be the customer's interface for everything that's out there information-wise, of which we have a tremendous amount, right? So that you would never find sleep if you wanted to spend the day going through and looking at all the documentation we have available to someone that's specific to their ask.
Okay. And is there anything else that you want to share with our audience today that I didn't ask?
You know, I think that if most people out there, going back to what I said before, it's kind of, you know, I'm not necessarily begging, but I think it'd be a great idea to take the time to have all your processes locked down before the attack. There are unfortunately situations where simple approvals are needed to roll out a security defense. So we know what to do, but we haven't been given approval yet to roll out that change. So go through your playbook, practice it well, and then you'll be in great shape.
All right, that's great advice. Roger, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you all for tuning in to AkamaiTV, and we hope you will join us again in just a few short minutes for our next segment.